Hello, hello. Good afternoon, actually, almost. I was going to say good morning, but good afternoon. I hope you are well. I wanted to talk a little bit about stress. What else? And actually how and where we hold stress. Um, I hear a lot of people say, "Oh yeah, that's where I hold my stress in my shoulders, right?" Or, you know, headaches, right, in your head. Everybody tends to hold their stress in different places, and a lot of times there can be a reason for that. So, in my particular case, I tend to hold my stress in my throat. Um, at any given time, I can check in and realize it's time to loosen up my throat. It's time to release it and open it back up. And so, when I was 15, I had TMJ so bad that I couldn't even open my mouth. I would have to, manually push my jaw to the side in order to get it open wide enough to put a fork or a spoon in my mouth. So has been historically the place where I have held on to stress in my body, um, and to the point where I see it, when I get sick, illness will go straight for my throat. So there's all these different things that seem to come up with that. And truly, a lot of times the way we hold stress or where we hold stress can actually even go back to, your emotional past. So for me, from the beginning, I was told I talk too much. Please shut up. Talks too much in class. Just constant messages of, you're talking too much, you're too loud, do you ever stop talking? Just on and on and on. You don't sing well, just all of these things of basically telling me to shut it, right? And I remember this message repeated over and over again throughout my childhood. And, most human beings attach a meaning to messages. Um, so in my case, the meaning started to become that what I had to say was not valuable, that I wasn't worth listening to, um, maybe that I was annoying, so I don't even know, like they still come up. But so you start to create meanings about yourself from the messages that you get, especially like that 0 to 7 in those, primary years. You really start to create these meanings. And that became the meaning that I associated with it. And so, as I said, I started to really hold anytime I was stressed out about something, it goes right to my throat. I tense my throat. I tense the jaw. I grind my teeth. I have to wear a mouth guard at night, so I have some teeth left. Um, so it also shows up in, the way I play my life. So, a lot of times in relationships, I end up in a situation where maybe I'm in a relationship where I'm not being heard. And relationships can be significant others, it can be your working relationships, it can be family, it can be a lot of different things. But if you're feeling like you're not heard, a lot of times it will come along with that. And so it could possibly be that, that I have assigned this meaning. Maybe I'm tense in the throat, so I'm not communicating effectively, and immediately, people are just not hearing what I have to say. So there's a lot of different ways that it can come into play. But ultimately, breathe. The idea is to be aware. Be aware of those things. Where are you holding your stress? Maybe is there some past emotion with it? Is there anything tied into that? And if there is, really start to make that conscious effort. So, what I do is when I know I'm feeling tense, I make sure to quick do a check and make sure I'm not holding my throat really tight. I make sure that I'm not clenching my jaw. I make sure that I'm not, doing some of the things that will create problems for me. And then also even continuing to, do the mantras to reverse maybe those beliefs that I created from the messages that I was given. So that was my little spiel for today, and just talking a little bit. And what about you? Do you ever feel unheard? Maybe you've heard those messages as a kid? I kind of came up in a day when it was children should be seen and not heard, and so seriously, like even that much later, I was still hearing that. So tell me about it. I'd love to hear what you have to say, what you think, and where do you hold your. Have an amazing Thursday for you guys in North Carolina. Have some fun in the snow. Mwah! Bye.